Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR 14. Today I am racing at Bristol Motor Speedway, so I am using Jeff Gordon's car. He won the previous race at Michigan, so I am very excited to do Bristol. I love short track racing. It's pretty good. I've done a couple of practice races to kind of feel out how the AI is going to drive, and they drive okay. It's not perfect. It's not terrible. It's kind of in the middle. So I went ahead and qualified, and I qualified first, which was actually pretty nice. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. We're gonna go out there and see what we can do. All right, so we are gonna qualify. We qualified first, so we're gonna start first, and we're just gonna attempt to get through this race. It's 50 laps because this track is so short. And the only time I'm expecting to have any problems, really, is if I can get away from the pack, and if there's no cautions and the pack starts to spread out a bit, if I can get around to meet the back of the pack, that's the only time I'm expecting to have any sort of problems with running into the people in the back of the pack. Other than that, I'm not really expecting any problems. Holy man, I'm blowing them away. Holy shit. Should have raised the difficulty. Wow. I think they're at 70%. Pretty sure they're at 70. Oh, you know what? They might be at 60. Oh shit. They're either at 60 or 70%, which whatever percentage they're at now is way too easy. God, I should have raised the difficulty, but honestly, I gotta get this video up. It's already been a day late. I did a shit ton this weekend, really. I did the ice bucket challenge with Polecat on Saturday, which, you know, it didn't take all day, but that was a couple hours, kind of just doing whatever. And then on Sunday, I went over to my dad's and showed him the MLB 14 the show, because he's a big baseball, also and NBA 2K14 on the PS4. He's a big sports fan, and I knew that he would be blown away by the graphics and everything, so that was pretty much all Sunday, and then today. So yeah, I gotta get this video out. Unfortunately, don't have enough time really to restart this race and do qualify over again, and we are catching up to people in the back of the pack. Wow, Danica's always back here, 42nd. But yeah, so yeah, it's just really, I'm typically not busy during the weekends, but man, it was a pretty busy weekend, so I couldn't get the NASCAR race out yesterday like I typically do, so I went ahead and did the ice bucket challenge video yesterday. And then today, I slept in, really, because Saturday going into Sunday I only had 3 hours of sleep, and then I was doing something all Sunday. I was exhausted. Slept for like 12 hours. But yeah, so also a little update. I know a lot of you are asking in my comments about the earthquake that happened in the Bay Area. I am not affected by it. I did feel it, and it was a very big earthquake, but no damage, no visible damage that I'm aware of. Nothing fell over, nothing broke, nothing like that. Everything was fine. Just, I mean, it was about 3:20 in the morning. And I was sitting there on my computer, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know, talking to a couple people, and I'm noticing a little shaking going on. I'm like, oh, it's shaking. What's going on? I'm like, I think there's an earthquake. And then I look over at my lamps, and my lamps are moving. I'm like, yeah, there's an earthquake. And I'm like sitting there going, yep, definitely an earthquake. I get up, go out in the living room. I'm looking around in the living room. I see that the shades, the blinds are moving around in the living room. So I'm like, yeah, this is definitely an earthquake. I'm hearing a door that's like slightly open, like creaking, because it's moving around. And I live in a very big apartment complex, like pretty massive. So for it, I'm on the second floor, but for it to be shaking the whole complex like that was very impressive, considering that it was, oh man, it was probably about an hour drive away. So it wasn't close by any means, and everybody in Napa was saying that it felt like one big jolt, but by the time it got to me, it was really a big wavy earthquake. So, and it lasted, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds, long enough for me to realize it was an earthquake, go out into the living room, go, yep, there's an earthquake, and kind of stand there for a little while. So it lasted a while when it got to us. But in Napa, they said that it was just one big jolt, just one massive. And I've felt those earthquakes before. I've been in those earthquakes where it's one big jolt, and those are kind of freaky because you're sitting there and then it's just like bam, and everything just starts shaking. So, but yeah, the Napa got hit really hard because they were just right next. The earthquake actually happened in American Canyon, which there's not really much there. Napa's probably the closest city to that. So I think reportedly there's about a couple buildings that have been red tagged that they don't want to enter. The thing about Napa is it has a lot of old historical buildings and everything, and those buildings a lot of them, got destroyed or damaged really badly in the earthquake and whatnot, so they got red tagged, and I think they said there's 172 people injured, 2 in critical, and then last time I checked it was 1 in critical, but no deaths. Nobody died, luckily, from that earthquake, and I was far enough away that I didn't get affected by any sort of damage or anything like that. So yeah, no, I mean everything's good here. I just hope that Napa will bounce back from that. But again, it's California. We've had tons of earthquakes. We always bounce back from them. So that's the biggest earthquake that's happened since the earthquake in '89, which was the magnitude 8 during the World Series in 1989, which was really that was a really bad earthquake. The entire Bay Area was a lot of damage. But that was the biggest one since then. I was talking to a couple of people, like my dad, and we were both said that, it had been way too long for an earthquake. We hadn't had earthquakes in a long time, and, we do, but we haven't had an earthquake that we noticed, because California actually gets hit with, like, I don't know, I think it's like 30 earthquakes a day, something like that, but they're all magnitude 1s or 2s, and you don't feel those. You never feel those, but, we haven't had an earthquake that we could feel in a long time, and a lot of people were getting a little concerned because we're overdue for the repeat of that earthquake in 1989. So it was, it was pretty shocking. So, but yeah, no, everything's good over here where I am. It was pretty noticeable. It was a big earthquake. So, but yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you, everyone, for your concern. Everything's fine. So yeah, we got 20 laps left of this race. Still sitting in first, kind of working our way through the pack. Ooh. We're doing pretty good though. Ooh, come on now. Ooh, no! I jinxed myself. Yeah, I jinxed myself. But yeah, so oh god, yeah, things are fine over here. We're not really worried. They said that there's probably in the next week there's probably going to be another. I mean, there's been like hundreds of aftershocks since then, but again, they're all magnitude 1s and 2s. You never really feel those. But they said possibly in the next week there might be an earthquake of a magnitude 5, which is just one under what happened. And they also said that there's a 5 to 10% chance, very, very unlikely, that this is just a precursor to something bigger. They said that that probably won't happen. It's probably not going to be anything crazy. So, but you know, I mean, around here when we get earthquakes, something that we feel, we all kind of go, oh, okay, well that's, you know, that's good. Release the pressure, because when there hasn't been an earthquake for a very long time, that pressure is building and building, 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 building. You know, and if it builds too much, you're going to get to the point where it snaps, and that snap is going to be big. So we're all kind of okay with, you know, getting a couple earthquakes. I mean, nobody's okay with getting their house getting destroyed or anything like that, but we're all kind of, you know, magnitude 6. It could have been a lot worse, which is, I mean, it was big enough to get into the severe category in the earthquakes, but not anything more than that. So, yeah, it's part of living in California, though, to be honest. I mean, earthquakes, the worst part about earthquakes is not, the initial jolt earthquakes, the very just sharp jolts are fine. The worst part about earthquakes is the ones that last. Like that one lasted quite some time. And it's when you're standing there going, yeah, this is an earthquake, there's part of your mind that goes, what the fuck, what do I do now? What next? You're just like, I'm not really sure what exactly I should be doing. I know they say like standing in doorways is a good thing to do, and you don't want to go outside, but you don't want to stay inside. Yeah, I don't know. So I remember my dad telling me the story of, you know, the earthquake in '89. I wasn't born yet. I know I'm young, but he, you know, my brother was born, and he was standing there with my brother, you know, holding my brother, standing in the front doorway, watching the street outside wave, like waves, and watching the inside of the house shake. So he was like, I just kind of stood there, and that earthquake, they said, lasted for 60 seconds. I mean, I couldn't imagine something that, it was a magnitude 8 that lasted 60 seconds. Man, this was a 6 that lasted maybe 20 out here, and it was long enough for me to go, shit, what do I do if things start falling over? Or because I don't, it might have gotten bigger, I don't know, but yeah, so I you know, I'm sitting there going, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm supposed to do when something like this happens. And you know, it's probably best to stand in the front doorway, to be honest, because if outside starts kind of, things start falling down, you go inside. If the inside starts falling down, you go outside. If both, then I don't know, you just stand in the doorway. But they say the doorway is the best place because of the you know, the reinforcement that they install into doorways. And also, I personally feel a lot more comfortable being in buildings that were built in the 90s. Because after that big earthquake in '89, everyone kind of got a little, they're like, let's start building earthquake-proof buildings. How about that? So,
4 to go.
Yeah, but I mean, it's California, you know, we don't, I mean, I guess earthquakes are the price you pay for, I guess, the weather, which just being sunny all the time. So, it is what it is.
Ready to go. Keep digging, not over yet.
But yeah, so everything's good. Thank you guys for your concern. I hope everyone in Napa can recover. A lot of old buildings out there got pretty destroyed, so I hope they can recover from that and rebuild and fix some of those historical buildings that got damaged. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna win this race. It wasn't too eventful. I just had to work my way through a couple people in the pack, but I didn't realize that the difficulty, I mean, like during qualify, they felt pretty on my level. They felt pretty aggressive, and I was having some trouble passing people in qualify, and then I get into the race and I just blow them away. So anyway, I'll take a win when I can get one. I love Bristol. I love short track races. They're a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Join me next week for some other racetrack that we're going to be at. I'm not really sure. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Like this video, it really helps me out, and bye.